Okay, strike that. Heather Woods. Heather Woods.
Oh, that's right.
My name is Heather Woods. I'm a woman in long-term recovery. What that means to me is that I have not used any mood or mind-altering substance in almost 2 years. I'm a registered voter, an employee, and a positive role model to my family and my friends. I started using marijuana at the age of 16, and at the age of 18, I started using opiates, and I added powdered cocaine to the mix.
Yes, definitely need that.
And all the while, I was maintaining above average grades. And at school, I was a star athlete in softball and in track. I was always trying to be the best at everything I did, no matter what it was, including my addiction. I was taking classes at the local CCAC and working 2 jobs. I started working in the medical field at the age of 21 for about 15 years. And doing medical coding, and opiates and cocaine kept me going to work long hours. And I was taking Xanax to help me wind down when it was time to sleep. Throughout those years, I was married and divorced, and bought beautiful homes, drove brand new cars every 2 years, shopped at the most leased stores, and fine dining, and etc. Then heroin entered the picture, and I quickly lost the ability to maintain my lifestyle, work, morals, and possessions became secondary. Within the next year, I became homeless, penniless, jobless, helpless, and unattached to reality. I began committing more serious crimes, and I began taking part in demoralizing activities. My perception became distorted. Drugs became the only thing that mattered. I didn't see a way out. The disease of addiction altered my ability to problem solve. I have overdosed 11 times throughout my addiction. I am very grateful for the people in my life that called 911 and got me to the hospital. 7 of those times I was life-flighted. And the amount of life-flighted, because the amount of the drugs in my system. And I'd wake up 2 days later in the hospital wondering where the hell I was and what I was doing there. And all I was worried about was getting the next fix and get the hell out of the hospital. But if it wasn't for Narcan, I wouldn't be alive today. Within the last year of my addiction, I got 3 DUIs due to heroin and benzos, all within 1 mile radius to my house. That is the insanity of this disease. Thank God I finally got arrested. Never thought I'd say that. Heather! I was so grateful to have my cousin Adrienne and her husband both had been in drug court and graduated clean today and living a great life. They had led a great path for me. They had mentioned the Allegheny Drug Court program to me. I was leery of that at first, but I had pled into the Allegheny Drug Court, and it has turned my life around. They have put me into a 6-month inpatient program, then into a 3-quarter house, and now I'm in this 12-step fellowship, and now I'm living on my own 2 feet again. I have a great job, a great employer, great friends, a great sponsor, a wonderful family, and now I live 1 day at a time. Timeless is critical for recovery. Waiting for these services can be a difference between life and death. I am one of the lucky ones. Heather Woods, person in long-term recovery.
Thanks, Heather. Mark Zoller is going to speak to it.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Mark. I'm a grateful recovering addict. Just want to say, July 11th, last month, 1998, I spent my first day in Western Psych detoxing off the drugs. Last year, I had 18 continuous years of recovery. being said, not to toot my own horn, but to break the stigma of addiction. Continuous, I meaning I'm not one of the ones that experienced a relapse. That being said, there's hope for everybody. When you find treatment, that doesn't have to be part of your process. Understanding that it's part of some process, some right, for some, you know, you hear a lot of bad stories or what, it doesn't need to. I'm the only addict in my family. Things got bad. I'm not going to say how bad, everybody knows. My story ended in Homewood, where I was living homeless. Where my story ended. It wasn't for one person that seen me. I was on the Edgewood, went up to Edgewood Town Center to move some batteries. Yeah, I had to steal for my addiction. One of the things that I'm proud of. That's one of the things that addiction brings. I seen her like 2 years ago when we got evicted. She went and got clean, which I didn't know, and I went and got homeless. 2 years later, this person came back into my life and was the one that led me to Western Sight to start this journey of recovery. I'm truly grateful for this person. Ever since then, I've had some bruises along the way. As always taught, you know, I'll get through it, share it with somebody. They don't have to pick up. Bottom line, do not use it. I have a problem, it's called addiction. It sits between 6 inches between my ears. I have a thinking problem. I'm sorry. I have a thinking problem. I always say my first thought's wrong. I can't act impulsively. When I act impulsively, I get myself in trouble. I always have to pass that first thought on or share it with somebody else. That's what my disease tells me. Just because I'm clean for this amount of time doesn't mean the disease still shows up in certain areas of my life. I still have that shitty committee up in my head telling me to do something. Part of my story is, you know, I have to learn to live in today. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow's not here yet, so the only thing I can do is live for today. My goal is to be a better person today than I was yesterday. That's what my goal is. Practicing the principles of the steps that was taught to me by my sponsor, which I passed down to my sponsees. 18 years ago, I'm so grateful for all that's here now, because back then, all this information wasn't available. If it was, I was ignorant to it. I didn't know about treatment. I didn't know about the 12-step fellowships. I didn't know about anything. I thought I was going to die in active addiction. Really did. I remember standing on the sidewalks, Wilkinsburg, looking to step out in front of traffic because I wanted to kill myself. Life got that bad. I had more fear of being the guy in a wheelchair still shooting dope than I did of dying at that point. Where the light at the end of the tunnel became so dim that it disappeared. I think my whole life would be surrounded by addiction and I couldn't find a way out. That being said, I am a productive member of society today. I remember back in the day where I got a letter from my parents. They actually disowned me. They sent me a letter saying, we don't want you to contact us. We took you out of our will. We don't consider you our son anymore. And that really made me angry because I was so selfish and self-centered. You know, and it was all about me, and how could they do that to me? Until I lost all of my enablers, until when I was able to get clean. Everybody was always putting a pillow under my ass every time I tried to make a fall, you know, to soften the fall, and it didn't change anything. So that being said, I work for treatment now. 13 years in the field as a supervisor in a treatment facility, trying to help somebody else. Show them the way. You know, I have no control over what they do, but I can show them what I do. You know, and help them gain their life back together again. Life's enjoyable. I love living life today. I look forward every day. I stay busy. Do things that I never thought of. If anybody's familiar with the band name Stained, that's sort of how I live my life. You know, you got shake me because some days I feel like I'm dreaming. I never expected to live life like this compared to the way my life was. Addiction is cunning and it's baffling and it's powerful. Something that I didn't understand. It wasn't in my bucket list to become an addict. It was something that just happened, you know, and it progressed and it progressed and it progressed until when I recognized that I couldn't get out of it. With all this information here today, hopefully, you know, if we save one person's life today, this whole thing is worthwhile. Or if we educated one person that didn't know anything about the disease of addiction, this whole thing is was worthwhile because the information wasn't there 18 years ago to the degree it is today. And getting the word out that, you know, this disease can be arrested and we do recover. But you gotta want this. They can't give it away. Nobody give it away to me. They just told me what they did, and I followed in their footsteps. I went through a lot. Recently, I was separated, went through a divorce. I did not have to use them. People helped me get through some of the hardships I had in my life. So I understand when I pick up, I heard somebody say, you know, they have an allergies to it. I have a complete allergy to addiction. I break out in handcuffs. What happens? I go right to jail. I have to put some humor into it. How do I do it? Just like everybody else did. I took suggestions. I read some literature. I got a sponsor. Start putting some principles in my life. I didn't understand. How do I deal with the illness on a day-to-day basis? I did what's suggested to me, the 12-step fellowships. Got a sponsor, worked some steps, made some changes in my life. My life I was brought up with morals. Then those morals went away. I started getting some learned behaviors, living out in the street, trying to survive. That was what it about, was surviving out in the street. It wasn't about practicing any principles or any morals in my life. That's where the depths of addiction had gotten me. Through the fellowships, I'm able to stand here in front of everybody. Parents proud of me. They're happy for me. They consider me my son again. I visit them on a daily basis, and they forgive me for everything I did. And they understand what I went through, and I'm not as selfish as I used to be. I'm not saying I'm completely not selfish, because it still does show up, but not as much. I'm a little bit better than I was yesterday. Tomorrow, I hope I'm a little bit better than I am today. Just want to thank everybody for listening. I hope I give somebody some hope that this disease can be arrested. You know, and there is hope. That's what this message is about, hope. We do recover. Thank you.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Adrian, what are we doing next? Open mic. Anybody like to come up and say anything? Anybody like to come up and speak? Or a personal experience or something you'd like to share with us? Open mic. Open mic. Okay. We have some stuff to give away up here at our starting over table, so if anybody wants to come up and grab a backpack or a gym pass, some race boards, all kinds of goodies. Huggies. We've got the food truck over here, still giving snacks away. He's getting ready to leave pretty soon. Go grab some free snacks. And with that, we're going to play some more music. Our juvenile probation table is still over here. What a great thing to go look at. Really. All our tables. Please visit all our tables, information, anything you might need. Come on up and grab a free gift. Don't forget our snack truck over here. And enjoy the music.